I really loved it. I thought it was a great experience, and they were being Renaissance learners, and I was being a Renaissance learner too. I learned a lot about a lot of different topics. I don't know if many of you heard of Wonderopolis. It's a website, but that website when I started it, I started this last year, and the website was just starting, and it really just took off. It's wonderopolis.com. And now they have lessons that you can do. I think Frankie Siverson talks about it in her Joy of Planning book about using Wonderopolis. So it really has evolved into this huge resource of a website. But it's pretty great because you can write underneath the Wonderings as a class, and they respond to you like that. You can follow them on Twitter and different things. But I did that sometimes on a week that it was 3 o'clock, and I was like, there's no way that we can present everything that you guys have. Let's look up Wonderopolis, and they usually have a video and then different explanations below too. So that was just a blurb of what I did kind of throughout the year. But I really had a great experience with it, and I definitely challenge you guys to, if anything, just use that language throughout to get them being curious about the world, because I think sometimes it gets hard with everything else that we're thrown at to do. And I saw so much power in something like this. So. Yeah.
And kids love being the custodians of the learning that's taking place. I mean, very randomly this year, a kid just asked if they could bring in a PowerPoint because their dad took them to see the Wienermobile. And I said, sure. Since then, that was like the end of March. Maybe it must have been the middle. Because since then, at least once a week now, I've had a kid just randomly bring a flash and be like, well, I did this. Or because one kid did it, they're all like, oh, we could do this. So we learned about Taekwondo tournaments and George Washington Carver Monument and Fort Osage so far.
Right.
I mean, they love being in that role of teacher,
right.
And showing, and it's great for community. Oh my gosh, I think
yeah.
the kids were just so, but they knew who to go to for this or that, and they kind of got to be experts and kind of.
It's pretty great. And Georgia Herder has a bunch of different things that you can go out. You know, the observation window. This is Wonderopolis.
How do you spell it?
It's Wonder
Wonderopolis. And this is really kind of.
That would be it. That's really cool.
Yeah, so they have a Wonder of a Day. So if you click on it, they have a video, and a lot of times the videos are just kind of silly. They're not informative. But this is what goes on inside a computer. So then this is actually the speed up process.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I printed out did you know? And I printed out these before, so it starts with the wonder, and then we ask, what do you wonder, what do you know about this topic? Then they read, and then we talk about, the simple what we learned. So I've copied and pasted this and just placed it on a piece of paper, and then we worked on it as a class. But it's great because, so then they give you information, they give you ideas to try it out. And this is all new, this wasn't here, the wonder words, the specific words.
Oh my God.
Still wondering. So you still have questions, here's from this website. And then here's wonder what's next, so then they give you a clue to what's up for tomorrow's wondering. And you can write a reply. Yeah, it's really great, and it's really became this huge website. It's pretty insane. And then they have different lessons down here on the side that you could do, I think. Nominate a wonder of the day. And I mean, some of them are heart wonders, so you can't really use as much, but then some of them are very informational. And you can search, so I had my students research animals, so I did animals last year. And then all of the different wonders from all around the whole time the website has been up. But this is it, animals. So I don't know what happened.
And usually on a wonder they'll have connected wonders they've done previously, and then they usually have a random wonder on the side. I don't know if it's the previous days or if it's more random than that.
Oh, here, down here. And you can go and see So then this was then a research point that I quickly went to, and I would just print off the article. Or I have this on my class website. They can just go to it and find to see if any of their animals, you know, or if they're searching for research topics. This is a great website to go to too.
It'd be hard to show kids those graphics and make them be excited.
Yeah, it's just set
Yeah,
up
pretty
really
exciting.
great. Yeah. And they're fabulous. They're a fabulous social media person to follow. Like if you follow them, then so many other teachers also follow and add to Wonderopolis too. So it's just a great kind of community to be on with social media, because ultimately, as much as we may not want, it's going to end up going to collaborating through social media too. So
That's cool.
yeah. I don't know.
So do you use this a lot for like science, or like what time of the day, like what would you put this in as your schedule? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering. I was like,
It's a
some of
lot
that
of,
would fit in
I
with
mean, it's
science.
everything. Like if someone walked in my classroom and said, "What is this?" I said, "It's reading, it's writing, it's researching, it's science, it's a bunch, sometimes it's social studies, you know." I guess throughout the day, there's been days where I pull it up in the beginning of the day and I say, okay, this morning's wondering. I want you to talk to as many people as you can. If you have some free time, go research. I pulled out some books. At the end of the day, we're going to talk about the wondering. So it's quick morning meeting. Then at the end of the day, it's kind of our wrap up. I've done it in reading. I've done it as just this is our wondering time. And Georgia Hurd calls it pondering time. So she was doing this with kindergartners, and it was great because she goes, "You know what pondering means? Pondering is just another way of saying thinking." So just, you know, entering them that vocabulary and just the power of that language. You know, I had parents come up to me last year and just say, "My kid at our dinner table just goes, I wonder this, like what is going on?" So that language is really powerful too. And I think it makes it more appetizing, more engaging. Appetizing, I don't know if that works, but more engaging for them. Then what do you question? Because at times, I think that sounds boring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So could it take just as little as 5 minutes in the first thing in the morning as they're all getting their, you know, unpacking, and then 5 minutes in the evening and at the afternoon as you're closing down? Is that?
Right, it probably, at the closing, probably it would take like 20 minutes, and it depends if someone created something throughout the day, you know, or if someone had, there's days where nobody did anything, so then we would just read it aloud, and then we have that conversation. You know, I give these opportunities to you. I expect you as learners to take the advantage, and I learned from you guys, so I was kind of disappointed that no one took that, you know, leap. Then a problem that I did see with the Wonder Board, since it was a free choice, I had the same kids doing it over and over again. So that's why I went to the direction of homework, so that everyone would have to do it. And eventually I took a survey since I was doing action research on it, and I said, what would you guys like to do with this wondering, pondering time? And they, of course, said group work. So I had them, as a group, come up with a wondering topic, and then they had to present it in any way they could. So at the end of the year, it was my writing project, but it was like research based. So they had to research this with a group and then create. So like one of their wonderings was, who was the tallest man? And then I had a group literally create the tallest man, which was pretty great. I had, I don't remember much. I had, of course, the solar system, and they created the solar system. We had a class wonder once where it was just, how does the water cycle work? And I just pulled out my art box and I said, create, kind of just like what we did. Create, you have to answer this question so that your audience can then answer the wonder, how does the water cycle work? And I had some kids actually physically create the water cycle. I had diagrams, I had movies, different things. So it was, again, it's very messy. You know, I have some colleagues in my building that we're kind of doing the same thing, not really with wondering, but kind of letting them create. And my advice is it's very, very messy the first time, and really the whole year that you do it, and you're kind of like, don't use my pipe cleaners, don't use my paint. But it's because they've never really had the opportunity to get their hands on things and explore. So the first couple of times it's messy, but then as it becomes a pattern throughout the year, it's amazing some things that they can create. So challenge you guys to use
about trouble trying to figure out what to do with the W and KW's